This is an improvised composting process. I made use of an aquarium to do the process. To make sure the compost is ready, the following correct characteristics are: a texture that's crumbly and smooth, depending on what you add to your pile. There may also be woody or fibrous pieces. Another, a smell that's sweetly fragrant and bloomy, like a forest on a wet day. Traces of ammonia or sour odors indicate your compost needs more time to mature. A dark, rich color, they don't call it black gold for nothing. What are the benefits of composting? Composting supports healthy soil structure and plant growth, eliminates the need for chemical fertilizers by serving as a homemade organic fertilizer, and reduces methane emissions from landfills. How to create compost? It requires putting together kitchen or soft yard waste, such as chopped leaves or grass clippings. After a few weeks, earthworms and microorganisms in the soil convert organic matter into usable compost. The materials used for composting are as follows: leaves and brush, grass clippings, bread and grains, plant cuttings, fruit scraps, coffee grounds and filters, tea bags, eggshells, wood chips, sawdust, wood ash, old potting soil, cut flowers, and food soiled paper such as napkins and paper towels. Outdoor composting is done during warm months. Find a shady, dry spot that gets little to no sunlight. Pile your brown and green materials. Make at least 1/3 of your compost consist of green materials and 2/3 brown materials. Spray water on the pile regularly so that it remains moist. Turn the compost pile regularly for aeration. Monitor the compost. If ready, it is dark and crumbly. How to differentiate the brown materials from the green materials? Example of brown materials: evergreen needles, dried leaves, paper egg cartons, paper towels or paper napkins, dried grass clippings, shredded newsprint, bark, coffee filters, straw, sawdust, dryer, vacuum lint, cardboard cut into pieces, dead house plants, shredded brown paper bags. Whereas the green materials are as follows: green leaves, garden waste, flowers, vegetables, fruit peels, scraps, coffee grounds, tea leaves or tea bags, eggshells, and flowers. Whereas those that you do not have to use for composting: invasive weeds gone to seed, meat, fish, bones, fat, oil, grease, dairy products, cooked foods such as attractive to animals, pet waste, plastics, metals, glass, toxic materials, charcoal, and chemical logs. Indoor composting is done year-round. Take a plastic, metal, or wooden bin, large enough to store your compostable scraps yet small enough to fit into the allocated space in your home. Drill a few holes in the lid at the bottom and near the top of the compost bin for aeration in order for decomposition to occur. Place the bin on a tray. Add some paper towels to the bottom of your bin. Pile in your brown and green materials. Make 1/3 of your compost consist of green materials and 2/3 brown materials. Monitor the compost until it's ready. Another way of composting is using old tiles. If you will notice, I have here dried leaves, but you can use other materials like brown and green materials, which I explained before. Okay, you can also use underneath some hollow blocks if your area is not cemented. In our case, it is cemented. Now you have to cover this with lawanit board, or you can use other materials like metal materials, galvanized materials, plywood, and of course we have to cover this with a plastic in order that it will not ruin our board when it rains. Okay, so likewise we need to use the aluminum screen so that we are sure that the insects will not get into our compost.
Have a good watching.
How to make a compost. Choose a place. Ideal compost area is a dry, shady spot near a water source. Second, add the ingredients. The ingredients are those rich in carbon, called brown materials, and those rich in nitrogen, called green materials. Make sure large materials are chopped or shredded. 3. Add water as needed. Make sure the pile stays moist, but not too wet. It should feel like a damp sponge. 4th, keep things moving. Turn your compost mixture to add air to the mix. This helps speed up the composting process. Lastly, wait a while. When the compost no longer gives off heat and becomes dry, brown, and crumbly, it's fully cooked and ready to be fed to the garden.
Pang anong tana.
How to use your compost. Place it around the plant that requires extra attention. Cover the compost layer with soil. Add extra compost on top by scooping out a small proportion of the soil from around the plant. Create a shallow dip to make watering easy.